Hey guys, Mike here from Lunch Money Comics. So I was contacted by a local comic book store telling me to show up on this day at this time. Why? Because it's the grand opening of Friar Tuck's Comics and Collectibles in Brookline, Massachusetts. Let's go check it out and see what they have to offer.
5, 4,
3, 2, 1. All right, let's go inside and check it out. Wow, awesome space, huh? It's actually a good price for First Nova. Oh, yeah. Wow. This is actually a beautiful space that they renovated here. It's absolutely awesome looking. Considering the small space they have, they did a lot of work with it. It looks great. You get a First Alpha Flight reader copy for only $10. It's not bad. What's that? $32 Lobo. Whoops. Water damage. Alright, it is hopping now. Ton of people here.
There you go. That's the spot.
We got all the modern stuff back here. Alright, and here we have, I think, the really good stuff. Oh wow. Golden record. Wow. Oh my gosh, I gotta look at that. I can get it out. You got economic press. I don't know what it is, but I kind of want it. There you go.
I don't know.
Yeah. Huh. Cool. So they have all these comic books up here, and they also have a ton down here. There's a lot packed into a small place, that's for sure. All right, they're very well organized by number, and I'm looking for number 368. So let's jump ahead here. It's a little tight. 66, 368. There we go. Sweet. All right. Good stuff here. Reprint. Juggernaut cover. Oop. I need 105.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, but it's like tsunami and TRC.
All right, I need this one, but the tear deters me. Look for a better copy. My boy Carlos over here has some Dave Stevens. I think he cleaned them out of Dave Stevens. Didn't leave any for me. Dude, you're the best. Thanks so much. Appreciate it, man.
No problem, man.
So I'm here with the owner, Rob. Congratulations on your grand opening.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad you could make it.
Oh, thank you so much. Tell us a little bit about the store.
Wow, it's a long time coming. We have been looking for a space for around 6 or 7 years. Found the space around 2 years ago. It's taken around 2 years of hardcore renovation of the space, and pricing around 80,000 comics took forever.
Could imagine.
Yeah, we had supply chain issues, contractor issues, all kinds of stuff going on, but we're finally open.
Well, it's an absolutely gorgeous store, and whenever I'm working in the city, I'm definitely have to stop by.
Fantastic.
All right,
More than welcome.
Thanks for inviting me,
Come on
Rob.
down.
I appreciate it. All right, take it easy.
My pleasure.
All right. Awesome. Good stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, guys, that was a pretty cool store. Congrats to them on the grand opening. I got some comic books to show off. Let's go home. I'll show you everything that I got. So there you have it. That was Friar Tuck's Comics and Collectibles in Brookline, Massachusetts. And like I said in that intro, I was contacted by the owner, Rob, who you saw in the footage, and he actually told me he was a fan of the channel. He knew I was from the area, and he wanted to know if I'd like to stop by for their grand opening. Now, I just so happen to work in Boston quite often, and for all intents and purposes, Brookline, Massachusetts is surrounded by the city of Boston. So it's pretty much right there. So I figured, hey, I'll just take a late lunch, I'll swing on by, no big deal. What I didn't realize was how big of a deal it was going to be. When I first showed up, I was pretty early. When I did that intro, there was no one else around. But as we got closer to that opening time, people just filled into that small stairwell. There was a ton of people ready to go in. A whole bunch of people said some words. Rob gave a speech. There was a legislator there, someone from the town. I think even his banker said a few words. And then they did the big opening with the big scissors and the ribbon and everything. It was actually pretty cool. And then we went into the store, and you guys saw my reaction. It is a beautiful comic book store, probably the nicest one I've ever been in. Dare I use the word classy? Listen, I'm used to going to, small comic book shops out in rural New England, flea markets, yard sales. I very seldom go to these really nice comic book shops in the heart of a major American city. And this definitely fit that bill. They spent 2 years renovating this space, big vaulted ceilings, art and comic books everywhere. It really was quite beautiful. Even more amazing, other than the new releases, every comic book in that place was from Rob's personal collection. Unbelievable. The place was absolutely jam-packed with comic books, and there was a ton of stuff they didn't even have room to put out on the floor. Very impressive. But also because I go to smaller places, I'm not used to prices that are close to retail, and that's exactly what we had here. However, they were having a grand opening sale of 25% off everything, and I tell you guys, if you hunted down in those boxes they had tucked away, there were some fantastic deals to be had. And that's exactly what I ended up with. 3 awesome books. So if you're ever in the Boston area, I highly recommend you stop by Friar Tuck's Comics and Collectibles at least once. Like I said, it's a beautiful store you got to see with your own eyes. I'll put some links down in the description so you can read all about it. Before I show you these comic books, if you like this sort of stuff and you want to support the channel, head on down, like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, you can follow me on Instagram under Lunch Money Comics IG. So the first comic book I want to show you is a pretty deep cut. It's been on my wish list for a long time, and I'm definitely going to have to explain why. And it is this. So this is The Incredible Hulk number 368. Why did I get this? Because it's the first appearance of the superhero team, Pantheon. I know what some of you are thinking. Who the heck is Pantheon, and why does Mike care about them? Well, I'll answer the first question first. They are a superhero team that premiered in this issue, and they are made up of a whole bunch of half Asgardians, right? They're all descended from the Asgardians, so they're all super strong and really tough and things like that. And they were in comics, actually in Incredible Hulk comics for like 5 years in the early 90s. As a matter of fact, the Incredible Hulk was often a part of that team. I think he was even a leader for a little while. Still, not many people know about them or care about them. I don't think they've done anything with the team ever since like 1995. Why do I care about them? Well, I've talked about those Marvel trading cards from the early 90s all the time. I love collecting the first appearances of the characters in those cards. And I can't believe this. There's actually a Pantheon rookie card in the Series 3 card set. You see them right there. I'm going to be honest, guys. I know nothing about Pantheon other than what's written on the back of this card. And it says right here, their first appearance is Incredible Hulk number 368 from 1990. So I picked it up just because I like those first appearances. Me and some other friends, some other YouTubers are going to be having a Series 3 contest where we show off as many of the first appearances as we could find. I've been doing this since I was a kid, guys, honestly. I don't care about Pantheon, but I found this book. It was pretty cheap to begin with, and the 25% off, I got it for less than 10 bucks. Totally worth picking up for that price and adding another first appearance. Let me know down in the comments if any of you are familiar with Pantheon, any of the characters on this team. I would love to hear from you. Okay, so this next comic book is awesome. I mentioned when I first got there, I was pretty early. Well, one of the first people that showed up was a guy named Carlos. And I immediately recognized Carlos because I see him at all the local New England comic book shows. He is a seller, but he's also a big collector himself from the Boston area. And we just started talking, making small talk. And I mentioned the last time I saw him at a show, he had a great selection of Dave Stevens comics. And that's when he said Dave Stevens is his absolute favorite. Now, I've mentioned it on my channel in the past, guys. I wasn't really into Dave Stevens before this year, but I have several friends who are diehard Dave Stevens collectors. So the more I started seeing those books, and then especially after I watched the documentary on him on Amazon, I was hooked. I've been trying to fill in my own Stevens collection myself. So I was sort of joking with Carlos, yeah, well, rush in there and see who can find, the most Dave Stevens books. Carlos absolutely won. He was like a greyhound for this stuff. I was struggling to find any titles that I wanted. He like homed in, he's like digging underneath. He actually found, I think, the only unpriced box in the entire store. The people who work there end up like grabbing it to price it up. And of course, in that box, he found a ton of Dave Stevens comics. And you guys saw that interaction I had with him. He showed me this big stack, and right on top, he had 3 copies of this book. I sort of joked with him, you didn't leave any for the rest of us. At which point he handed this book to me and said, just give him a shout out on the channel. Thank you so much, Carlos. I really appreciate it. So I'm absolutely giving you a shout out. So the name of Carlos's comic selling venture is called Re-Up Hunter. I will put links down in my description to his Instagram page. And like I said, if you ever go to comic book shows in New England, he is often there. He's a really great guy with impeccable taste. Thank you so much, Carlos. There's your shout out. And this is the book that he swung on over to me. This is True Love #1 by Eclipse Comics. And you see this is a Dave Stevens cover. This book is from 1986. I've never seen this book before, guys, honestly, never. But of course, you see the very iconic Dave Stevens, female art. He's very, very good, obviously, at drawing the female form, especially faces. He's great at it. So yeah, I've never seen this book before, guys. And here's the crazy thing. Like I said, that box was mostly unpriced. One copy of this book was $10. The other ones were not priced. So when I brought it up, they definitely honored that with the discount. I got it for $7.50. I think that's an absolute steal for a Dave Stevens cover. And this is minty fresh. It is absolutely perfect. A great copy. So once again, Carlos, you're the man. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. I really appreciate that. Okay, so for the last book, this wouldn't be a Lunch Money Comics video without at least one X-Men book. I've been talking about it all the time. I'm working on the Chris Claremont X-Men run. I'm almost done. At last check-in, I think I said I had 7 left. I think I'm now down to 5 because I picked up this book. There were actually several books I saw there that I needed. I didn't love the condition of all of them, but this one was the right price and the right condition to pick up. So this is X-Men number 105 from 1977, of course, written by Chris Claremont. Art by Dave Cockrum. He not only did the cover, he did the inside pencils because this is before John Byrne got in on the run on number 108. Now, there are a couple of claims to fame to this book. First, we see Jean Grey as the Phoenix right here in her awesome green and gold outfit, fighting against Fire Lord, who's a former Herald of Galactus. This is the first time we see Jean Grey use her new Phoenix powers against Fire Lord, and she's incredibly powerful, so that's pretty cool. The other big claim to fame here is that it's the first full appearance of Lilandra, who's a member of the Shi'ar Intergalactic Empire, and she's a longtime X-Men affiliated character and love interest of Professor X. So I've always loved this cover. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I love the colors here. I love any cover with Phoenix on it, honestly, especially in the green outfit. So yeah, this was priced, I think, like $45. With a discount, it was like 30 something. Actually, all told, I got all 3 of these for $50. So pretty good deal if you ask me for all these. Only 3 books, guys, but I'm happy with every single one of them. So that is it. Head on down to the comments. Let me know what you think of everything you saw. Let me know which of my pickups you like the best. Like I said, if you're ever in the Boston area, I'll put some links down below in the description if you want to check out that store for yourself. And also, check out my boy Carlos. He's not only a great comic book seller, he has fantastic taste in comics. That's it, guys. Keep hunting for comic books in strange and unusual places, as well as the classier comic book shopper, too. Thank you all so very much for watching. I'll see you next time.